Hi, this is Lawrence with just a brief video, hopefully brief video on additional flat earth concepts and how they might relate to you, how they might affect you, and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, online I was having a discussion with someone. They were stating that in order for me to get the bigger picture, the beginning of all wisdom in this matter is to understand that the earth is flat, and then everything else from there will come into view, and I'll be able to see the bigger picture. Well, that's not exactly how it works. So the reason being is because I had challenges of my own, trying to figure out which way was up. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you know things are not the way that we used to perceive them. The world is not as we believe it is. So what happens is you need to go on this great quest for knowledge, and you begin to scramble, and you begin to get some answers, and those answers can often be very scary because you don't know what's behind the next layer, the first answer. So for instance, if you realize that something's wrong with the world, immediately you'll start running into 9/11 cover-up videos, or the Illuminati runs the world, and it means something to you, and I would be very surprised if you weren't fearful at that point for understanding that something's going on. But then you can make the choice to either stay in the fear and shrink back, or live every day absolutely burning a hole in your stomach with an ulcer, just worried about what the next day is going to bring. Or you can continue to ask questions until things really begin to become clear for you. So for some people, it would seem that the flat earth somehow is beginning to meet their needs. And like, why are things the way they are? Well, the earth is flat. So what I find in these flat earth videos is they're often showing you footage that proves that the earth is actually a globe and not flat. They're telling you this is what you should be seeing, and you're seeing things plunge below the horizon line when you should be seeing it on top of the horizon line. Just simple things like that. What they're actually getting wrapped up in is, I imagine, to be real information. So I don't really want to spend the time looking it up, because I know what I would do if I found out the fact on the other side. So for instance, say that what they're saying about buying tickets for an airplane, you can't go from one continent to another. You have to go way out of your way and go from south to north before you can reach another southern continent. And that is what is a definite proof that the earth is flat. Well, based on what I have found out for myself, it still falls in the category of what I believe is true, and what the flat earth is saying could still be not true. So I know that seems kind of nebulous, but I'll get to it, and you'll begin to understand what I'm saying here. So one of the biggest issues with the flat earth, one of the biggest issues people have with the flat earth, is that as you watch these videos on NASA, you begin to sense that there's something wrong. You begin to see flags waving because of exterior forces where there should be no air anywhere, or reflections in helmets, or even astronauts contradicting statements and getting upset when you ask them. Things of that nature. Those are very genuine points. Those are points that absolutely says something is wrong here. But that might not mean that there's a flat earth. So just because astronauts did not go into space does not mean that there's a firmament that doesn't allow them to go into space. It could mean that they just wanted to fake the space program for either a game that they're playing on us, or that there's a genuine reason why they wanted to fake the space program. It can mean a lot of things. I understand why people would go to it, because they want the Bible to be true. They want there to be no discrepancies in the Bible. There are discrepancies in the Bible. There's something off in the Bible, and I don't believe it's blasphemy to say that. I believe it actually shows humility to say, look, I've read the scriptures. It's not making sense. I've asked my minister. He won't give me an answer. But my job is to find the truth. It's not just to have a blind faith. Jesus is the truth. So therefore, if you step into the room where the truth is, Jesus should be right there, or there's a problem. So I'll give you, for instance, the Bible says that Moses was one of the most humble men that ever lived. He was the most humble man that ever lived, something like that. Well, you find out that the author of that book that he wrote it in, I believe it's Exodus or Numbers, I'm not sure which one it is, but he is the author of that statement. He wrote that. Moses wrote he was the most humble man that ever lived. So rather than discredit the entire Bible, why not ask yourself, what could this mean? Could it mean that the Bible's trying to tell you something other than what it seems to be saying on the exterior? We are surrounded by sacred texts, sacred information, stuff that is hidden, occult information. Everything is hidden. The good news is hidden in plain sight for us to find out what it means. All we have to do is take a little time to look. Man, YouTube is full of videos. It's like being able to sit in a library with every book ever written almost. I mean, any information you need, you just type it in there. You just got to know which question to ask. So you got to be like a bit of a child and just be annoying and keep on asking questions, and you'll get the information you need. So for the flat earthers that struggle to believe that because NASA's information don't pan out, that would point to the fact that the earth is flat, I think that's a premature assessment of the situation. To me, it could mean other things. But if you're saying that the earth has to be flat for there to be a God, I don't get that as well. Because what you're really saying is if every single word in the Bible is not true, then it begins to point that there isn't a God. I don't think that's true at all. Now, if there isn't a firmament, if there isn't a flat earth, and we're on a globe, and we're held on the globe by gravity, and we're surrounded by objects that are floating around, and it's just an enormous situation, that does not point to a godless universe. That actually points to a larger, bigger picture of God that we are not currently getting. So hopefully that makes sense. I know, because it just seems like people that study out the flat earth are becoming maddened by the concept of why don't they see that the earth is flat. And the globalists, the guys that think that the earth is a globe, looking at the flat earth, they're thinking, why are these guys not seeing that their own videos don't make sense? Either way, there's a God. To me, that's not even an option not to believe that. I mean, there's something in me that stirs that says there's a God. So that's not up for discussion as far as I can tell. But as far as the flat earth, I just don't see why you would make the equation that no flat earth, no God, therefore I got to believe in the flat earth. I don't get it. But anyway, hopefully there's some insight there. Don't be afraid to question what the Bible says. Because if my wife led behind clues that said, I'm not the person you think I am, or I'm not doing the things that you think I'm doing, or I'm going to see if he really loves me enough to get to know me, to find out when there's a discrepancy, whether or not he'll go after it. If I don't go after that information to find out who she really is, then I can't really say that I love her, or I can't really say that I've got any backbone. And, and she'll leave me anyway. She'll say, this guy has no backbone. He doesn't care about the truth. He doesn't care about being courageous. He doesn't care about making sure that everything's true. So anyway, food for thought there. Hopefully that makes sense. Flat Earth does not equate to, or no flat Earth does not equate to no God in my view. So anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.